Hey all, it is March 1st, which means February is over, which means I can tell you about the anime and manga that I purchased in the month of February. It's actually quite a stack. Yeah. So, what did I buy? Actually, a variety of stuff. One of them being soundtracks. I bought a bunch of soundtracks. The first being the soundtrack to Gun Parade March, a mecha anime from a few years ago. And to my surprise, it's composed by Kenji Kawai, the composer of Ghost in the Shell original movie and Patlabor and a bunch of other stuff. So this is sort of classic mecha anime music, lots of drums and brass and such. Then the soundtrack Boogie Pop, music inspired by Boogie Pop and others. Boogie Pop is a very famous light novel franchise in Japan and spawned an anime series and a live-action movie and some manga. And the cool thing is this is basically a soundtrack to the novel. It is music inspired by Boogie Pop, so it's just tracks which are meant to evoke mood, evoke certain characters, certain scenes in the original story, all done by Yuki Kajiura, the famous composer who's done all sorts of different stuff. Look her up. Then I also threw into my cart a bunch of bargain bin mystery items, stuff they'll just send you. If you give them $1, they'll send you something that's worth about $5, and they'll send you something worth 10 or 15. So one of the items is the soundtrack to Stelvia, which I have not checked out. I've only heard the opening theme song, which was pretty awesome. So who knows about that? Also, the second soundtrack to Princess 9, the all-girl baseball team anime, which is another anime I haven't seen yet. Heard very good things about, though, so maybe at some point I'll look at it. And haven't listened to either of those yet. Also, I ordered the first 5 volumes of Dance in the Vampire Bund, the manga. And this is because, and yeah, it's going to make me sound like a lolicon, but honestly, when I heard of the anime being announced, I went to check out the manga just to see what all the furor was about, and just planned to read an issue or two to get a feel for it. And to my surprise, I ended up reading like the first 30 issues, just straight through. I was completely sucked in. So, since I read that much, I kind of got to buy the manga. And unfortunately, I think the 3rd volume is still on back order. So I have the volumes 1, 2, 4, and 5 here, which is, again, unfortunate, but at least I've got it, and hopefully that 3rd volume will show up soon. So we'll see. I had no idea that Seven Seas came out with it quite a while ago. Similar situation with Blam, which is a series I'm trying to collect all of. It's by Tsutomu Nihei, who also is doing Biomega. This is his earlier work, and several of the volumes is essentially impossible to find. So I have volumes 7, 8, 9, and 10 here, but unfortunately, I don't have volume 6. I just can't find volume 6, things like that. Moving on to some light novels, I've got The Boredom of Haruhi Suzumiya, light novel, The Sigh of Haruhi Suzumiya, and The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya, volumes 2, 3, and 4, basically. Looking forward to checking those out. They're actually quite inexpensive on rightstuff.com, so I can get them cheap, which makes a lot of sense. Moving on to the anime, and starting out with some other bargain bin mystery items that just kind of showed up. Elshia, which looks like a sword and sorcery fantasy OVA that I've never heard of before, which is not a good sign. The first volume of the Devil May Cry anime series, which again, I've got no idea about, although I have heard of that. The last volume of Last Exile, the Gonzo, I think 25th anniversary celebratory TV series, with a very high budget, beautiful work, and an engaging story, actually, a story that keeps on going all the way through, as far as I've seen. And one of these things, I was collecting disc by disc, and then I never managed to find the final volume. I just never, when it came out, I never got it, and then it just sort of fell by the wayside. So now I finally have all of Last Exile, and I'll hopefully finish that up sometime soon. Living for the Day After Tomorrow, this is the entire TV series, a recent anime just from the past year or so in Japan. And this is the entire thing. It's about 2 sisters who are orphaned and living alone. So it's sort of a dramedy kind of a series, although heavier on the drama. Well, more of a slice of life kind of a story, I suppose. And I was just really impressed with that whole thing. And there's a bit of a fantasy element, too, as I recall. So very interesting. Evangelion 1.01, because I watched all of it, so I've got to own it. Should be, again, I've seen it, so no surprises there, but now I have a copy, so I'm a good otaku. Magical Girl Lyrical Nanoha, the first series, complete in one DVD box set. Hugely popular in Japan, has its fans over here. One of those things I'd like to check out just to see what all the fuss is about. Samurai Harem, aka Asu no Yuichi. This is a series that I do know about because I've watched it all the way through fan sub, so again, I'm buying it. And I was thoroughly impressed. This is a harem anime sort of crossed with the samurai idea. So think sort of Rurouni Kenshin crossed with Tenchi. And it's done by AIC, the folks who did Tenchi. And again, to my surprise, it actually does all those things. It's a really funny romantic comedy, and yet the characters are it doesn't go overboard with the etchiness. And then it develops a samurai story, which it then follows all the way through, completely at the end, which is good to see. And finally, the second season of The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, which, me being a big Haruhi fanboy, I watched all of. And now I have the entire thing right here in DVD form, which is awesome. So those are my February purchases of anime. Yep, I bought a lot of stuff this month, but then I was kind of catching up. There were a lot of stuff out there that I have been meaning to buy because I had seen and watched. So I've got it. It's all there, and that's a good thing. And so I hope you all are also buying anime and manga and light novels and supporting the industry. It is important. So that's it for now, and thank you all for watching.